Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Chris Weidman. Thanks for checking out my channel and the latest episode of my podcast, Won't Back Down. Before we get to today's guest, I just want to give a shout out to my presenting sponsor, BioXcellerator. BioXcellerator is the world leader in stem cell therapy and regenerative medical research. Through the use of their powerful golden stem cells, they help patients heal from joint and orthopedic injuries, autoimmune disorders, spine and disc damage, and neurological trauma. I'm going down to Colombia the end of August to get my stem cell treatment from BioXcellerator. I'm super excited. One of my boys, Crispy Avila, just went down there, and he is just saying that he feels so much better and healing better than he's had in years. And so I'm excited to see what they could do for me, my leg, and the rest of my body. Thanks again to BioXcellerator for helping me create Won't Back Down, which you could also find wherever you get your podcasts. You're a son of immigrants. They came over here from Croatia. And then go ahead, give me your story. What was that like?
Mom came over when she was, I think, probably 8 or 9. My father came over when he was about 18. They met, had a beautiful child named Stipe, which is me. They were together for about a year. They got divorced. Me and my mom lived right next to my grandparents, like a few streets over. And then we finally, they had a duplex at the time. Then we rented a duplex above them for a while until about 11. And then my mom bought our first house, and she's still there now. And then, went to college and all that good stuff, and, played a ton of sports as a kid. And, I did everything, actually. I legit did everything. I bowled, I swam, baseball, football, wrestling.
Are we talking elementary school, or are we talking, so give me elementary school sports and then through junior high and high school?
Elementary, I played midget football. That's what they call it, little leagues back then. Baseball, bowled. I was a bowler. That was
really
fun. That was fun. I was in the league every Saturday. It was great. We won the 1 year.
What's that dude from Kingpin? You kind of look like him.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Woody Harrelson.
Yes.
But so then did that, and then soccer, of course. I love soccer. And then
you love soccer?
Love it, yeah. Well, we're good. Croatians are good at soccer, dude.
But are you? And you're pretty fast, I guess, for a big guy, right? Like you.
Yeah, I wasn't as big though. I wasn't as big when I was a kid. I was actually short. I wasn't huge, but then I just kind of hit a growth spurt when I got to 8th grade.
Gotcha, and you got big.
Yeah.
And then in high school, what would you still get into?
I still played soccer. I think my freshman year and sophomore year, like rec league, just because I loved it. Played indoor, all that good stuff. I wrestled, played baseball and football.
Gotcha. So wrestling, you started in like freshman year or
7th grade?
7th grade. All right, cool.
Yeah.
And was that one of your favorite sports, or?
Yeah, I love wrestling just because it's a one-on-one. It's only on you, dude. You know what I mean? It's you're either gonna win or you're gonna lose. No one else's fault if you lose.
Yeah, I agree. But baseball. So it was. It ended up being. I know you played baseball in college and wrestled. So baseball. Did baseball become like your first love? How did that all?
Yeah, baseball was always my first love. I love baseball. Ever since I was a kid, I would legit wake up at like 8 in the morning, go to my buddy's house, and then get home till 10 o'clock at night. That's when it was okay. Come home at 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was great. I mean, that's all we did. Either we play baseball, football, we played basketball. I mean, whatever. We legit would just do sports all day. We're like. It's like that movie, The Sandlot. We had like a bunch of kids. It was like there's so many kids in where I lived at the time above my grandparents. So it was crazy.
Yeah, it's fun. That's kind of like the life I live too. I played every damn sport there is, and it's funny because when we played basketball and I beat you on horse, I did realize this guy Stipe has a skill set that most fighters don't have. It's not to my level of superiority, but it was close enough to where I saw the form, I saw the athleticism.
Listen, let me tell you,
I saw the potential.
On that horse game, listen, I'm here for you, dude. I was letting you win, so you did not feel bad about yourself because I'm okay with that.
I mean, you are a really good guy, but I think you're more competitive than you are a good guy. Do you agree with that? What do you think? Do you you don't let yourself lose on purpose?
No, never at all. Never.
All right, so you just admitted. I just proved.
No, not in that game though. We're in New York. Listen, I don't want to take your thunder, bro.
You didn't take my thunder. You didn't take my thunder. I appreciate
because you won.
I know I won because I earned it. It felt so good. I will say, bro, let's stick on this for a little bit. You're super competitive. I'm super competitive. We've trained before, and there's not too many people that I can think of that I've trained with over the years that is as competitive as you. And so like when you get another competitive person, there's always like this like awkwardness, it's like, I know he really wants to win and it's going to piss him off if he doesn't win. And then I'm the same way. And it's like, I'm not going to give in. I'm not going to give in. And then you get great work, because it's two guys that don't want to give in. And I remember, I know you brought it up on your podcast when we actually wrestled. And the way it felt wrestling you, and I've wrestled with some beasts obviously over throughout the years. It felt like the one time I wrestled Tommy Rollins in practice, he's an Ohio guy, right?
I wrestled him.
Oh my God. He made me feel like a little kid. Like I'm doing fakes. Yeah. He's not biting. I'm trying to get on the head and move him. And he's just elbow passing me off like a little baby and just, leg attacking me. And he's so much bigger than me, but he's beating me with skill, not like with strength. And I've never really felt that before. And when I was wrestling you, not that you crushed me or anything like that, but it felt very similar because it's rare you have a big guy who's super strong and powerful, but yet is using technique in order to win, and like knows how to use their energy in a smart way. Because a lot of big guys, they're just like, what, go, and then I'm going to wear them down and they get tired. But with you had that same thing Tommy Rollins had, and it is super impressive. And I'm just going to go into this whole talking about Stipe, how awesome you are, bro. Thanks, and then I actually just watched some of your fights and I was like, holy shit, like Stipe, bro, you are so good. No one the other and I know you're so damn competitive. You hate hearing any other name from the heavyweight division because at the end of the day, like you're the coolest dude ever. But when it comes to competition, they're your enemies. They're trying to take yours. But Cain Velasquez was another guy that had cardio. He put pressure on. He could strike. He could punch. He could kick. And he could wrestle, and he would keep going, which is so rare for the heavyweight division. And you're the guy who I actually think had better boxing. You had an amateur career with boxing. I know you won the Cleveland Golden Gloves.
Oh, yeah, with the Nationals,
which is awesome. And I've watched you now. I watched the Mark Hunt fight. I watched the Beltran fight. What was your coming out party? Who was the guy? Roy Nelson. Roy Nelson, bro. And that was coming off your first loss too, which we'll get into. But the pressure that you put on, like beating them from the feet, like dominating these, like especially Hunt, like dominating a guy like Hunt on the feet, but then also smart enough to take it to the ground when the time came, it was such a beautiful performance. And I think honestly, your career is underrated. For everything that you've accomplished. And I know like a lot of people do consider you the greatest of all time at heavyweight. So, I don't know if you get more underrated than that or I guess, I don't know if that's a pretty good compliment, but I just still think that people don't appreciate what you brought to the heavyweight division. Do you feel this at all? Because bro, you were able to mix it up at the heavyweight division. You fought like a little guy. With nonstop pressure, you could punch, you could kick, you could take guys down and ground and pound the hell out of them, and you didn't get tired doing it. There's not too many guys I could look at in the heavyweight division ever that had the technique that you had in every element of the game.
Yeah, no, I think a lot of it too is my coaches. We had great game plans. They would sit there and like, we're going to do this, we're going to do this. This is why we're going to do this, and it's going to happen. And no joke, a lot of the times we would work on something for that fight and I would end up using it. It was crazy. Like the second JDS fight, that hook to the right hand. My coach said, listen, he's going to bag against the cage. He's going to try to run. You're going to throw a loopy hook tight where you're not going to get hit, but come with the right hand. And if you see it again, do it again. And look what happened. Yeah. Got a knockout.
Yeah. Obviously you're one of the guys who've had the same coaches since the beginning of your career too, which is super rare. I'm in the same boat, which is awesome. But like you are a quick learner. You are, I think, kind of a freak athlete because like even let's go into your amateur career. How long did it take to get into the Golden Gloves and then become a champion of the Golden Gloves? Like that doesn't come overnight for most people.
Yeah, I was doing MMA prior. I was working on my striking and then, I was wrestling. So I was taking everyone down. And this is why I love my coach. I would take everyone down. I'm like, man, this is easy. I'm like, take everyone down, beat them up. Yeah. Count me in. And he's like, hey, dude, guess what? Every fight starts standing. He's like, if you're going to take someone down, I'm going to stand you right back up. You got to learn how to box. You got to learn how to fight on your feet. So if I take someone down, he's like, get back up. So that's why I rather stand now because I'm so used to standing.
Yeah.
Because like wrestling is always going to be there. It's my, it was in my pedigree. I've done it for so long. And, but yeah, so I worked on it and then started doing the amateur boxing and I loved it. I loved it so much. I won Cleveland Golden Gloves. That was great. Then I went to the Nationals and I lost in the quarters. I won my first 2 fights. I lost in the quarters to Brian Jennings, who actually is one of the top 10 fighters in the world.
He was a world champion, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he lost to Klitschko. He fought Klitschko. I lost. It was a great fight between me and the decision. It was tough. He beat me, and it was a great fight. It was a great experience, and it was just fun, man. But then I just kind of missed MMA. I loved everything about it. I loved the taking down, but it's a tough street.
You doing that boxing though. Obviously, you could always go back to that, which is nice, and you see with the Paul brothers and everybody's doing. There's a lot of money to be made in boxing at some point, but that boxing, that experience boxing probably gave you tons of confidence going into MMA. Like when you decided to leave boxing and you fought a guy who became a world champion, and then now you're going against these random MMA guys who they're just really learning how to strike and put it together. Like with did the confidence level on the feet just get to another level to where like you weren't intimidated by anybody on the feet? Yeah,
no, for sure. I mean, I'm always intimidated because you never know, man. Heavyweights, anything can happen. Small gloves or big gloves, they don't matter. You get caught with one, But
that's a shitty. Doesn't that suck? Doesn't that suck? This is bullshit.
Yeah.
Like if it was just sparring sessions with headgears on, like I feel like the better guy always wins. But when it's do you agree with me?
Oh, I'm saying you got this little gloves, you get caught with a shot. You're like, what just happened? You're like, oh, you got knocked out. You're like, oh, okay, thanks.
Yeah.
It's something you've been. It happens. It's life, and what are you gonna do? But yeah. With the whole boxing, when I actually started sparring first time, I hit hard, but I just felt weird punching people hard, and I didn't want to hurt them. I felt really bad. Like I don't want to hurt anyone.
Yeah.
And then one coach was like, dude, they're fine. Like if it happens, like they'll be fine. We'll make sure they're okay. You're not going to keep beating them up. Like relax. And so I'll never forget. It was one day I think I really just a rough day, just pissed off at the world. And I came in and sparred and I was just not doing good. I got cracked in the face. I was like, ugh. I just iced the dude. I was like, oh, okay. And after that, I was good.
So wait, did you like put him out? Like you knocked him?
I had one camp. I don't know what camp it was. It was a Mark Hunt or something. I really had I knocked out 4 or 5 dudes in a 2.5 week period. Not trying to. I wasn't trying to. I'm going hard, but I just catch one shots,
Did you change that up at all? Like as you got older, like were you like, I'm not going to hurt my guys anymore? Or were you still the same mentality in sparring? Like I'm going to try to knock this guy out.
Well, they're trying to knock me out too. So
yeah. All right. So I'm saying the pressure.
What's that?
But let's say if you got someone hurt on the feet.
Oh, I go to the body. I just jab. Okay. I work. I let them get the bearings back.
Yeah. In the beginning too, or did that change over time?
No, I would back off too. Like a coach will say something like, "All right, easy now." You can hear it and you back off. Well, yeah, I'm not trying to unless it's a guy I don't like that came in from another gym and being a dick,
I can't stop thinking about Valente coming out and sparring with you then. How many times did your coach say, "Come on, all right, Stipe, all right, let's work the body now"?
Pretty much every time within the first 15 seconds of the round.
And Valente has no idea. He thought he was doing great.
Yeah. Well, probably as you're sparring, he's like,
he is hard. He's hard to put down with body shots, though.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that? Have you put him down with body shots before?
I think I got once.
Yeah.
He got me once too.
Oh, so wait, John Valente. Let me just put it out there because some people don't know who John Valente is. So he's one of my best friends from my hometown. We grew up, we wrestled together. Then he played football at the same school I did. And I got him to come out for the wrestling team at Hofstra University. And then next thing you know, we started our MMA career at the same time. And he's been my main training partner for my whole career. Stipe became friends with him. Stipe invited Valente out to go train with him out in Cleveland. And they became really close friends as well. And yeah, so that's who Valente is, right? He's been in the UFC. He was in the UFC forever. He still is in the UFC.
Yeah, he's a strike force and then he moved over.
Yeah. Anyway, what about Valente?
He actually
I put him down with body. I took him down with body shots with my foot, like one of those, 45 front kicks to the liver. Yeah. I put him down with that a few times, but when it comes to body shots with my hands, I can machine gun the body. It's very hard to get him down.
I think I got him once or twice with a body shot, but he actually got me one time. He was fighting a southpaw. So me being the nice training partner, I went southpaw, which I never do. The dick started push kicking me, doing that quick snap.
Oh, yeah. He learned that from me.
Yeah, he dropped me, and then
he's so clumsy with it.
Our buddy Alexa, dude, I was so mad. I was like, after that, I was like, I no more southpaw. I just destroyed him after that.
When I just spoke to him, he's like, bro, you guys are such losers. You guys both have podcasts. Like, oh, so cool. You guys have podcasts. I gotta get him on. I love it. What's that?
Yeah, no, I said I'm over him, but I love him too.
Yeah, no, I know. He's hysterical. He's a teacher now, and he's going to be coaching. And fighting.
And he's got another kid on the way.
Yeah, he's got a lot going on.
Yeah,
it's crazy because his ass was such a pain in the ass with me. Anytime I had to go home after training because I had 3 kids.
Yeah, I get it.
And he was just like looking at me like, bro, you're such a loser. Let's go. We got to go out to eat. You're not going to eat with me. You're not going to eat with me. I'm like, bro, no, I'm going home. And now he finally gets it. He's actually apologized to me. He's like, bro, this kid thing is no joke. I
FaceTimed the one day, or he FaceTimed me. I'm like, hey, we doing? Hey, watching the little guy. And I'm like, oh, cool. You know, what's the wife doing? He's like, oh, she's pressure washing the porch. Or so. I'm like, what? And then he's not even watching the kid. He's playing with the dog.
And he's got it in the back. And he's got his mother-in-law who's cooking every meal for him. The guy, he got away with murder. Everything just seems to work out for him.
And then he's got his mom too. Like his mom babies him. Like,
yes, this guy, he wouldn't be able to survive if he didn't find women to take care of him.
100%.
He's just so lucky. Yeah. All right, hang on. Let's get back to high school. So wrestling and baseball pretty much was your 2 main things. And then give me the going to college thing.
So I got done with college. Actually, I was going to go to Lock Haven University.
I almost went there.
Yeah, I was going to go there.
Bonomo was the coach?
Yeah, Rocco.
Yeah. The brother, they're like twin brothers or something.
Yeah. And I was going to go there. I did sign. And then for some reason, I don't know what happened, but my ACT was never put on my – like I was going to be a prop 46, whatever they call it, 48, whatever. I just wasn't going to rest my first year because I was just didn't care about grades in high school, which screwed me. But whatever. So I went to go, and they're like, "Hey, dude, blah blah blah." And it got all messed up. So I literally just said, "Okay." Then I went to Cleveland State instead. I signed. Like I just went to school like the 18th. I think we went to school on the 19th or 20th, and I literally went to.
Were you talking to the coaches and stuff at Cleveland State?
Yeah, Jack Humphrey. Yeah.
Okay, and was the wrestling or the baseball coaches?
Wrestling.
Gotcha.
And then I played baseball there and all that good stuff. It started.
Bro, that's so funny because out of high school, I was going to Lock Haven. I actually pre-committed to it. I went for an official visit and everything. Had a great time. I signed the agreement, and then I didn't pass the Division I clearinghouse. I didn't get my SAT score high enough. So
it's like me.
It was fucking terrible. It was embarrassing. In 9th and 10th grade, I had the worst grades ever. Like failing everything and D's. And then my senior year, I got all A's because I realized I wanted to go to Division I, and you need to get your scores up. So I did really good. And then next thing I know, I took the SAT literally 6 times, and I needed to get like a 980. I got like a 970 5 times. It was fucking terrible. My coach was like, "Bro, can't you cheat?" And I'm like, the person next to me has a different test.
Did you have like 600 points for your name alone?
Yeah, it's fucking pathetic. Listen, I'm not test taking.
Real quick,
they should have gave me extra time, bro. I got ADD.
Well, yeah, all right. I have a great story about Valente. So he talks about his SAT score. Like it keeps going up every time he talks about it.
Always goes up. He's the worst.
So what's the highest you can get on it? Like 1,500?
1,600. Yeah.
So when I did the
it changed multiple times, but it like they doubled it up. At one point, it was like 2,400. I think. I don't know.
Well, John Valente, we were in the Ultimate Fighter in Vegas, and we're hanging out, and we're with Kamosi and stuff, and we're watching Super Bowl at the Aria. And the big thing was crazy, big screens, whatever. And one of the guys, he's this head surgeon guy in Denver, Colorado. Great dude.
Oh, come on. Yeah. What's his name?
I can't think of the guy's name.
Yeah. Chris, he's an awesome dude. I spoke to him before.
Yeah. Well, John's like, I got like a 1,300. The guy's like, I got 1,600. The guy, and John Valente didn't know what to do, dude. He just walked away. He was so defeated. It was the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life.
First of all, he told me originally his SAT was like maybe 1,000 or 1,050, and then the next thing you know, it was 1,100. Then it was 1,200. Then it was 1,300. I'm like, you're the worst. You're so dumb. You went to new college.
He's a loser. He's a loser.
Yeah, he's a complete loser. All right, hang on. Wait, what was your credentials in high school for wrestling?
So, see, my sophomore year, I didn't get to go to state because I tore cartilage in my knee. I dislocated my knee like a week before. So I was going to try to do it, but it was too much. I couldn't even walk. It was so big. And then my junior year, I was wrestling 160, and then my junior year, I said, screw cutting weight. I'm going 215. So I weighed about 195 and wrestled 215. I wrestled and made it to the state tournament. Was a match away from placing. I should have.
How many state championships are there in Ohio?
There's three divisions. I was Division I, the biggest division.
Nice.
I should have won it that year. I was so pissed. I screwed up. It was bad.
Yeah.
It wasn't my tournament. And then the next year I took second. Took second, and then I took seventh at nationals for All American.
Wait, second? You took second in states in Ohio?
Yeah, second in states, and then took seventh at nationals.
And that was 215 or heavyweight?
215.
Gotcha.
But it was crazy because
who won that
in nationals?
Yeah, do you remember?
Some kid from Washington, some Christian kid. I don't know.
Some Christian kid, like religion Christian?
Like Christian, her first name was Christian or something. I remember something like that to the extent. But actually, I'm pretty almost positive. Remember, I was at Cooley, the football player.
Who? Oh yeah, yep.
I think I wrestled him. He beat me, I think.
Oh really?
Yeah, he beat me like 5-4 or something like that, or maybe 8. I don't know. But yeah. But yeah, I went to nationals and all that. And then went to college and didn't make it my first year. And the second year I went to the nationals. I think I went 0-2.
So at Cleveland State, how'd you do during the year?
Good. I was ranked nationally.
And this is heavyweight?
No, 97.
97. Oh wow.
Yeah. And then I wrestled a couple of Americans, beat a couple of Americans.
Who give me some names that you wrestled, because I was 97, but I was 2 years younger, so I was just wondering if I knew. You ever wrestled Chris Strekowitz from Hofstra?
No, I've seen him wrestle. I've seen him wrestle.
Super tall, annoying.
Lengthy.
Yeah. Everyone hated wrestling.
I remember he wrestled Cal Sanderson, and he versed him. Everyone was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah.
Sanderson just destroyed him after that. Yeah, then he just destroyed him after that. Who did I wrestle around? That was I wrestled. Who did I wrestle from Edinburgh? He was a 2-time All-American.
Oh, Kyle Seminara? No, he wrestled Buffalo actually.
No, Buffalo. Yeah, no, I'm trying to think. And then another guy from Michigan I wrestled. Lost him once. He was a 2-time All-American. I lost him once, and then I beat him. Oh God, what's his name? I don't know. I'm terrible with names now.
Me too. I'm with you. Don't worry.
So,
I never.
And then I had one more year of eligibility, and I left to play baseball. I was ranked like top 5 in the country. I left.
Wait, so that was your sophomore or junior year? That
was my junior.
Junior, and then
I was ranked.
And then you just, what happened? What made
I just left. Wanted to play baseball. I went to another college.
You were done with wrestling.
Yeah, I couldn't make the weight, dude. There's no way. And we had a heavyweight. It was just, I should have redshirted, but I was done. I was over it.
Who was the heavyweight?
Russ Davey.
Big dude.
Yeah,
I remember.
Recto guy.
Yep.
Yeah, good dude, great dude.
And so you're like, all right, I'm bouncing. I'm not cutting this weight anymore.
Yeah, it was not even that, but I just wanted to play baseball, man. I just, the coach there. I mean, he was a right guy, but just it wasn't my cup of tea. And I didn't have a problem with him. But I just didn't feel good there, and so I wanted to go somewhere else. So.
And then where'd you go after that?
I went to a small school in Coker, which I don't want to talk about that. But then I ended up in a school in Nashville, Tennessee called Trevecca, small NAIA school, but we were like nasty good. Like we could beat D1 teams like we were good. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And we were ranked nationally. We were top 5. Like, I mean, we were good. And we fortunately didn't make it. We were just we were a game or 2 out from making the World Series.
Gotcha. What position were you?
Third base.
Third base. Damn.
Well, I played everywhere. They needed me to, but I started third base. But sometimes I would play outfield once in a while, like first base.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know that much about baseball, but my sons play. And I know third base is a very serious position because you got to be able to throw at first base. Like that's a big throw.
Yeah.
Right. You got to have
plus it's a hot corner too. So you get some guys that are big that can just crush it down the line. It's either you got to take it off the face, the chest, or you can get it in your glove.
And you're big for baseball, right? So I thought the bigger guys would play first base, right? Or was that not?
Yeah, well, a guy played first base too. He couldn't play third though. He was as big as me, but he couldn't. He wasn't as agile as I was. Yeah.
Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah. When did you start becoming super athletic? When did that happen?
Oh, super athletic. I just work hard at what I do.
Oh God, bro. Come on. Things come easier for you than other people.
No, I just work hard at it.
You work hard, bro. You work hard and you're super competitive. But
yes. I think about it. Like I have to, if you show me something, I can pick it up quick. I'm good at picking up stuff.
Yeah. No, I know. And whatever you see someone else could do, you could make your body do, kind of, right?
Yes. Or I'll make it work to my advantage, if that makes sense.
Yeah. All right. So then you graduate, so you guys don't win the World Series, and then where you at with like baseball? You thinking about going pro in baseball, or were you just like, let me try fighting?
Yeah, no, I was I tried to try out for a couple of teams, like they have like open tryouts, they randomly through cities and stuff, and get you looked at, but nothing ever came of it. There's a lot of guys my size that can throw farther, hit, throw harder, hit the ball farther, run faster. I mean, it is what it is, and so that's when I went back. So I go back to school, become a firefighter paramedic. So I started doing EMT basic. Start off with the paramedic. You have to get that done first before you go to paramedic school. And I was training at a gym, just training people for gas, food money, because I got a grant, so I had to pay for my school, which was lucky. And the owner of the gym was friends with a guy named Dan the Bull Bobush, who fought in UFC, Pride, King of the Cage, Pancreas, and Pride. I don't name it all. He's a great dude.
I think I've heard the name. Yeah,
he was like 6'2", 330, just muscle. I mean, he's a freak. He's a freak. And the owner was like, "Hey, do you want to help him wrestle?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, I'll help him." So this is back in the day. The gym I'm at now was like, it was a Subway now. It's how big it was. It's how big the gym was.
Wow.
It was a Subway. Wow. And so went there, wrestled them, and I just fell in love, dude. Just, kept me out of trouble, wasn't doing dumb stuff. And I didn't care about fighting. And then, and then my coach, they moved like a few months later to the big space they have now. And yeah, man, here we are.
That's crazy. So wait, you were kind of done with athletics though. In your head, I'm becoming a firefighter and I'm kind of done with baseball. I'm done with wrestling. And then
the professional route. Yeah. The professional way. Yeah. I wasn't, I get it, time to become a man, find something I love to do. And I have a lot of friends that are firefighters. And I love everything about it and what they were all about. And then it just kind of just fell into it. I really didn't want to spar though. I mean, I'll never forget the first time I sparred. I always tell a story. Like I walk in the gym, I was just doing pad work, wrestling, doing stuff like that, and learning jiu-jitsu. And my coach was like, "Hey, you're gonna spar today?" I'm like, "Yeah, no, I'm not." He's like, "No, yeah, you are." I'm like, "No, I'm not." He was testing me. I want to see how to react. And I'm like, "I'm good." I'm like, I only have a mouth guard. We have this guy named Jeff Cox. He fought UFC like 2-3 times. He's a 55 pounder. He's like, "Come with me." He's this old guy. He's like, "Come with me." So he gives me this mouth guard. And I like my mouth guard, I can feel like an ashtray in it. It's so big. I get this little mouth guard, I put it in, I'm like, "How's it look?" He's like, "Sweet." So I spar this mouth guard, doesn't fit me. We have no headgear. We have these old, like nasty, like Everlast gloves that we don't use. I mean, no shin pads.
Yeah.
So I start sparring and I have no idea what I'm doing. My hands are down. I look like I'm like just trying to like flail.
Yeah. You were scared. Were you scared of getting hit?
Well, then I got hit with a left hook by Forrest Pets. He fought UFC too. He hit me with the left hook, and I kind of saw a light, but I was fine. I was like, "Oh, that's it." And I just started hammering dudes after that. I'm like, "This is great. I'll take one to give one." That's what I was thinking, Well, then they look and like, "Well, this ain't gonna." Sorry, I swear, but like this dude ain't knows how to check kicks or a kick. So they just started hammering my legs.
Oh, the worst.
I really couldn't walk for like a week and a half, bro. Like my leg was black and blue. It was so bad. And then, but I loved it. I loved everything about it. It was like a puzzle to me. I just so infatuated with it. I just love the whole team aspect. And it's in a weird way, like being told what to do. Have practice. You're gonna learn this. We're gonna do this. You're so used to it. But I like the organization. Yeah.
And then at what point did you decide, all right, I'm boxing? Because you were doing MMA and then
you didn't do a fight,
right?
4 or 5 amateur fights, MMA fights, and then my coaches. We had Bobby Giacchetti, who's also brother to Rich Giacchetti, who they trained Mike Tyson back in the day, and they were like, "Hey, let's take some time off. We're going to stand up. We'll just do amateur boxing." So I did a couple matches. It was funny. I remember my first one, I crushed a kid. Second one, I'm fighting this dude, and I'll never forget. And they call me Big Red because I had like a big red robe and red shorts and stuff.
What made you do that?
They got it for me. Like the coach got it for me. Like, "Hey, you're gonna wear this." I'm like, "All right, whatever, dude. It is what it is." And so I'll never forget. And this dude comes out, and I'm like, "What's this guy's record?" So they're like, "Oh, it's like 5-3 or 6-3." I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool, whatever." And so we go out there. This dude's doing he's like flashing. I'm like, "Man, I'm like, that dude's got some confidence, dude. 5-3. God bless him. Good for him. Good for him, So I come out. I might be my third fight, but I come out and I'm like, blah, 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 blah. I crush him, right? Kind of stumbles back. I'm like, "Oh, yeah, game over." I'm like, "Ah." And he's like, "All right." I'm like, "Oh, my God, he didn't go down." Like, it was like shocking,
Yeah.
And so then I had to like actually box. So I started like boxing and stuff. And I was taking shots and we're going back and forth. And they finally stopped the fight, and he had like I come 4 times, 2 in each eye. maybe it was underneath his eye. I think I broke his jaw, I knocked out his tooth. And the dude was like 34-4.
Really?
Yeah. He was a little bit smaller than me, but then so then I did a couple more, and then I did Golden Gloves in Cleveland, and then I'll never forget my first match. I had no idea I was fighting that day until my one coach calls me. And he's like, "Hey, dude, just gonna throw it out there, but yeah, because like I thought I was gonna get the bye because there's only 3 or 4 guys. I thought I was gonna get the bye.
Yeah,
because I already beat like 2 of the guys, and they're like, "No, you got to fight." So I had no idea. So they call me 3-4 hours before the fight. They're like, "Hey, dude, you got to fight." I'm like, crap. So I call my coach. I'm like, "Marcus, we got to go, dude." He's, "No, I'll meet you there." So I fly out there, weigh in, do my thing, and then I'm fighting this kid from Jack Lowe, where Kelly Pavlik.
Yep. Yeah.
His coach is, so he comes out, this kid's long, he's pop, 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 he's watching him punch. I'm like, man, this kid looks pretty tough. He was Wesley Trippett. I think he was like ranked 10th in the country at the time. I had no idea. I was just like, oh, whatever, dude. So we go out there, dude, and the dude's like, bam, bam, hits me with the jab. I'm like, Jesus, guys, that hurt. You know what I mean? Like, so he hits me with a 1-2. I'm like, oh my God. So I'm like, all right, enough of this. So I start getting in. He was taller than me, so I had to get in. I come in, I start crushing him, bro. Finally, I hit him with an uppercut. They do an 8 count. And then again, I hammered him. And then he kept going with the ref. He was like, "Ref's like, you good?" He's like, "Oh, yeah." He's like, "Oh, you're done." He's like, "No, why don't you stop it?" And he wasn't even talking to the ref. It was so messed up. So I won that. I went to the nationals, or the next fight was the finals, and I won that, whatever. And then went to nationals and made it to the corners. And it was fun, though. It was a good experience.
Yeah. What was that quarterfinal match like?
The Wesley,
the world champion dude. Yeah.
Yeah, it was tough, man. He was good, man. He was good. He knew what he's doing. I mean, he's savvy. It's hard, but I mean, it was great. It was a decision, went back and forth, and it was fun though. Honestly, it was a good time. It was a good learning experience, and I mean, things you do to try to win. I remember during my amateur career for boxing, I was with my best friend at the time, and we had like a little internet stand with like a router and modem up there, and it was like messed up. So he's like, "Hey, dude, can you fix it? I gotta go to work." I'm like, "Yeah, dude." So I looked down. We had like zip ties, like with the cables against the like little stand we had to make it look nice. So I had to like cut it off. So I look, and there's snips or a fresh cutting knife. I'm like, "Well, I'll grab the fresh cutting knife," and I cut it. I missed too hard, and it sliced my hand wide open. I had to get 5 stitches. Like I could see my ligament. That's how deep it was. So he went like 3 on the inside, 2 or 3 on top, where it was. And so I had to fight a week later in Columbus for the Armor Classic. And so I literally took the stitches out that morning. I walk up to, I'll never forget the doctor. She was hot girl from like South Carolina. And she's like, "Honey, what do you want?" She goes, "Honey, what are you going to do with that?" I was like, "Just sign the paper." She's like, "Whatever." And so she signs the paper, right? It's healed, but it's not like great. Yeah. So I fight this one dude. I think his name was like Joe Smith or something. He was tough kid. I fought him twice.
Not from Long Island. There's a Joe Smith.
No. Yeah. Clay's from Columbus. And so I come up and we started going on in the first round, and I hit him with a jab, and I hear a pop, and my hand blew open again. So I keep fighting. And so I win the fight. I win by decision. I take my glove off, and you hear all these people go, "Oh," because my whole hand was covered in blood from the gauze. Like the gauze was all red. Yeah. I won. And I probably got like, staph infection and whatever, and whoever knows what were those gloves. Cause like those gloves back then, like everyone used them, so like I was a heavyweight. So think about the whole day that everyone's using those gloves. So it was fun.
Jeez.
Yeah. It stung a little bit.
Yeah, that's right, bro. You're too tough. Yeah. So you do that. How many boxing fights did you have total? Do you know?
It was like 10-1 or 11-1, something like that.
That's awesome. And then it was crossover to MMA. And I know you rose up pretty fast.
Yeah. So I was 4 or 5 amateur fights for boxing, and I took that break for boxing. I'm sorry, 4 or 5 fights for MMA, and then 11 fights for boxing. And then I went back and I had one more. I wanted to do an amateur fight, just get my feet wet again. And the commission wouldn't pass it. They said, nope. I went through I swear I was like 30 dudes. Like, nope. They just kept saying no. So I said, screw it, I'll just go pro. And so we found a guy within a day, and guys like 6-3 or 5-3 or something. Tough, great, nice dude, good jiu-jitsu guy, I guess. Whatever. Fight starts, guy comes running at me. I cracked him, knocked him out in like 17 seconds.
That's awesome. That's a good debut.
Yeah, right. It was great. Yeah, and then so fought another fight. It was Mushin. That was in somewhere. Was it? Oh my God, what the heck is the place called? It's on the tip of my tongue right now.
Another Ohio place?
Worcester, Massachusetts.
Okay.
That's when Pujanowski fought Tim Sylvia.
Oh man. Holy smokes. That's a throwback. What year is this? Like 2010?
Yeah, it might have been.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
And then I caught more fights and the UFC called.
Jeez. Yeah. What'd you have? You had you were 6-0, right? Or something?
6-0, right? Yep.
6-0, all knockouts?
Yes. Yep. I didn't go nothing past the middle of the second round.
Yeah. Before you get into your UFC career, as far as your mindset going into the fights, I'll never forget when you were getting ready to fight Francis Ngannou that first time. I came into your locker room and you were just so chill. Like everyone's a little bit different, the day of a fight. But it did hit me like, bro, look how you were so chill. You were chewing your gum, you were laughing, just BSing. Like you weren't stressed out that I came in the locker room, or anything. Yeah. He's just like, oh, we're hanging out, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, yeah, I'm good, ready to go. And then you went out there and did your thing. Like when did you get that mindset? Like, how do you deal with nerves and like, just give me your whole mindset going into a fight, because I do think it is pretty different.
Yeah, no, in the beginning, it's like riding a bike. The more times you do it, the easier it gets, I guess. But I think a lot of it came from I stopped caring what people thought. You know what I mean? I didn't want to I just was like worried about what everyone else is thinking. And I finally just said, it was after which fight was it? Maybe after the Struve fight or something like that. It's when it started getting like that. I just stopped caring. I just started having fun and said, listen, either I'm going to win, I'm going to lose, but I'm going to go out there swinging. Yeah, I'm going to do my thing, and I'm going to do what I got to do to win. And sometimes it doesn't happen that way, but I can't worry about it too much. I can't worry about what the other guys are going to do. I'm going to do what I do, and sometimes it's going to go my way. But most of the time it has, thank God. But sometimes it doesn't. Yeah.
But I bet like the day of the fight in your hotel room, are you freaking out with nerves, or you're pretty chill?
I probably play video games and stuff like that, and just we do morning shakeout.
But you're not struggling with nerves at all.
No, I'm actually the last 4 or 5 fights I've actually slept through the night. Didn't it's been great.
Bro, that's amazing. Good for you. I want to be more like you. The day of the fight for me sucks. I'm like, oh my God, I just want to when I start warming up and I do the shakeout, I feel great because I'm up on my feet. But then the rest of the day, it's like, all right, am I taking naps? And then I can't take a nap because I'm thinking about the fight. I'm like, I should be taking a nap because it's good for me, but I can't take a nap.
Yeah.
And that's usually kind of the way that works, but I hate it. I hate it.
Yeah, no, I know. I feel it. I mean,
in the locker room, I'm not bad.
I do have nerves. I do have nerves. It's not like, but they're not going to, they're not like, because you got to have nerves. You got to be nervous, because if you're not nervous, you're not ready. Yeah. I am nervous, but I hide it well, but also at the same time, I don't let it overcome me, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's also better not to talk about it. Like, when people are asking if you're nervous, if you start saying, if you start going into, oh yeah, I'm nervous, I feel like it gets worse and worse and worse. You just got to be like, no, I'm good. I'm good. I think it's just,
I remember when I fought in Overeem, it was so funny. Actually, I had a couple of funny stories about that with other people. So I was fighting in Cleveland. It was just chaotic because everyone wanted free tickets because they feel like you're Ticketmaster. I'm like, here's a link to buy them. Good luck with that.
Yeah.
So, but anyway,
my parents can't even get free tickets.
Yeah, right. I call my wife. I'm like, hey, listen, I'm about to go to the fight. You want to come down? Say goodbye. I'll see. Say goodbye. Blah blah. Yeah, no worries. So it was her and our cousin came down. So sitting on the bed, I'm just being me. I'm like, yeah, I'm being wild and weird, and my wife looks at me. She's like, babe, it's okay to be nervous. I'm like, all right, thanks, appreciate it. Cool. So I'm doing something and Mark's like, hey, watch out for over his knees. You want to get to the clinch? He's real good. I'm like, yeah, no, I got it. Oh yeah, I want to get some good. Yeah. My wife's like, babe, it's okay to be nervous. And I'm like, yeah, I heard
you doing the Good Will Hunting.
I know, right? I'm like,
okay.
I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I'm good. Like, and something else happened again. And she finally goes, babe, it's okay to be nervous. And I go, I'm like, can you shut that? Like, I like say, I'm like, can you shut that up? Like, you're gonna make me nervous. Stop it. And her cousin's like this, like looking at her like, shut up. It was so funny. And then and then we had my one friend, Jan Gomes. It was actually the.
Oh yeah, I know Jan. He's awesome dude. Yeah.
Yeah. So the first fight, him and Corey Kluber were there for the fight, and they're eating before the fight in a hotel, and so they haven't got there yet. Like, so we're about to walk out to get picked up and go, and
Yeah.
I'm like, Jan, what up, dude? Oh my God. And Jan's like, you ever see like Step Brothers, like, hey, Mr. Dobek, you know, he doesn't know how to handshake or hug him.
Yeah.
That was Jan.
He's so awkward.
He's like, I'm like, all right, okay, dude. And I gave him a hug, you know. And like Corey Kluber's sitting there, what's up, dude? And he smiled. I'm like, I made him smile. Like I'm going nuts. And Jan's looking at me like, who is this dude, right? So we walk out the door. My coach is like, Jesus, is someone nervous? I'm like, I know, right? It was so funny, dude. He was like, so like, he's like, what do you want me to do? Yeah, I talked to him about it after. He's like, what do you want me to do? You fight this big, tough guy. Like, what the heck? You know, I am nervous for you, okay?
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah, people don't know how to act around fighters the day of the fight. People are so nervous. They don't want to say the wrong thing. You know, so I guess I get it. So one of the main things of my podcast is talking about overcoming adversity. And I know you've definitely overcome adversity in your career. I think probably the biggest adversity that you overcame, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, was the Stefan Struve fight, because you lost to him earlier on in your career. And then for you to be able to accomplish what you accomplished, a lot of times if you lose to a certain guy, you could maybe put yourself on that guy's same level. And you'll think, all right, well, I'm going to hopefully be just as good as that guy. But as opposed to the way you handled that loss was that it wasn't, obviously that wasn't your best night, and you move forward and you still had those championship dreams. But yeah, so how did you deal with that first loss?
A lot of drinking. No, you know, I lost that fight, and I knew I was better than him. You know, just, you know, like I said, it wasn't my night. You know, just I had a lot going on. Just in my mind, I was naive. You know, I thought I was unstoppable. I was undefeated. Thought no one could touch me. And then I just stopped caring. That's one of the facts that lawyers stopped caring. You know, I just didn't care what anyone thought anymore. Didn't care about what people said about me. Because I, like, after that fight, like, I almost didn't want to fight again, because like I was getting nowels, like how bad of a fighter I was. I should kill myself. I'm a disgrace. You know, I mean, these people are just ruthless.
Yeah, you're in the limelight for the first time in your life. And then first loss, people just are ruthless. Yeah, it's
the worst. And so like, it was so bad. And then like finally, I just stopped caring. I just like, whatever, dude. Like, I don't care. I deleted my Facebook. I just didn't care anymore. I was like, I'm out of this thing. I don't want, you know. And then I just kind of rhythm back, and I literally just stopped caring. I just stopped caring what everyone thought. I didn't care anymore.
And then the Roy Nelson fight happened, right? That was
I was supposed to fight So Palelli.
Yes.
And then the main event got knocked out, and then they asked me to step in with Roy Nelson to step in, and I fight Roy. I said, yeah, whatever. I had really no choice. I just lost the fight. I can't say no. You know what I mean? And
he was ranked pretty high, right? At that point,
he was ranked fifth.
He was ranked fifth. And he was, you know, people forget, you know, you have to remember how he was at that time. He got off he won the Ultimate Fighter show, right? Like he dominated everybody. He would get that. He was a black belt in jiu-jitsu, heavyweight, and he had a monster right hand. So he was dangerous on the feet and then also the floor. And so going into that fight, what was your mindset going in there with like your first real big name and a guy who's ranked top 5 in the world?
Don't get hit with the right hand.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he called me a couple times. Nothing, you know, I was just smart enough to stay out of the way. But he called me the one time in the chest. Jeez, I thought he had a heart attack. He did a wild left hook. I didn't see it. You know what I mean? I was like trying to get out of the way and just crushed it. I was like, oh my God, it hurt so bad. You know, But you know, I mean, I felt good pretty much, you know, the whole time. I mean, just I was in control. I knew what was going on. I just, you know, wanted to keep the pace on him, and it was, you know, worked out well.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm not going to go through every single fight. But basically, you end up becoming world champion. Let's go through your world championtship fight.
Okay.
What was that like? Your whole preparation for your first world championship fight, and then
first time. Well, when Dana called me, he's like, "Hey, Cain's out. Do you want to fight in 10 days?" I said, the best part was I was watching like the Super Bowl or something. I don't know, maybe the playoffs. And I was like buzzed up off wine. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna take the fight. Haven't trained in like 2 weeks, you know?
Yeah.
And then I called Valente that day. He fights the next day. The minute he gets off the plane, I go, hey, we're just going to hang out and have fun now because the fight got canceled.
Yeah.
And so then I was texting Dana. I'm like, don't let him run, dude. I want this fight. And he's like, you got it. And then, you know, UFC 198, I think it was, or 96, 98. And then, we fought in front of 45,000 people in Curitiba, which was, you know, craziness. And everyone would tell me I'm going to die in Portuguese, which is always a good time.
Uva Mahera.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah,
I know that chant.
Yeah, and so and then you know, and we worked on everything he was going to do, and he did everything in those first 2 minutes of what we were working on. Like he did it all, like everything he was going to do to me, tried to, and he stopped him, and then we were working that step right backhand, and he just kept, I don't know what he was doing. I think he thought he rocked me, but when I stepped back, my foot got caught in a little crease between the cage and the mat.
Yeah.
I kind of stumbled a little bit. It looked like I was hurt, but I wasn't.
Yeah.
And that's when he started chasing me. I think he was mad too, because they catch him with a good right hand over the top.
Yeah.
And that's when I caught with that right hand going backwards.
Bro, that was crazy. And what was the aftermath of that fight like in Brazil?
It was great. So it was great. We had fun. We just, kind of kept ourselves out there and having a good time. And then we were leaving at the airport. It was crazy because my wife was like yelling at me because we were going to miss our plane because I kept taking pictures of her at the airport.
Yeah.
Then
it's
we got home.
How big MMA is in Brazil.
Oh, it's nuts.
It is
they were all
insane. It's on a whole nother level.
Yep.
Like, I know for me, I'm so much more famous in Brazil than I am in America. Like, as far as walking around and stuff, like people notice me so much more in Brazil. It's crazy.
Yeah, I know. I get it. No, for
I'm
sure.
sure it's the same with you.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's great. It was just great because they're good fans. I mean, of course, they want their guy to win, but like they're very, nice. They're great, and they're just good people, man. They love the sport, and you can tell. Yeah, they're not just fair with the fans. They love everything about it.
I agree. All right, so let's fast forward. So you lost your last fight with Francis Ngannou. Where are we at now? What's that?
Thanks for bringing that up.
Let's just rip the Band-Aid off. It's all right, bro. I've had my fair share of losses. My leg got broken my last fight in half, all right? It's a little...
Okay. I can't win that one. You win.
Go ahead. You want to talk about it? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about what that felt like. So where are we at now? What's next, bro? And I understand there has to be frustration. You've defended the belt more than anybody else has ever in the UFC history. I mean, you've dominated majority of the guys you've ever fought. Any loss that you had, you came back from. And now you don't get that opportunity right now. And you gave rematches, in other situations with Cormier and stuff. So like, what the hell is going on in your head right now?
I got a baby due. We have a baby due for 4 or 5 weeks. So that's the main thing. No, I don't know, man. We'll see what happens. I know that they got the interim belt this weekend, and the winner of that is going to fight Francis. So who knows when that's going to be? But then you have John Jones in the background too. So who knows? We'll see what it's going to happen. I'm just gonna enjoy the moment right now and worry about my family. That's all I care about.
What do you think of John Jones going heavyweight?
Oh, great, man. I mean, but different. I think 205 and heavyweight's a big difference. As you can see, some of those guys from 205 came up and they didn't do well.
Oh no,
it's definitely a different. I'm not saying John Jones is bad or anything like that. He's really one of the best, of all time. But it's also a different weight class.
Yeah, no, I agree. What do you think of the fights this weekend?
I'm excited. See,
what do we got? The Black Beast versus
was it Grill?
Gone.
I'm messing up.
Well, what do you think of that, by the way? Making the title like an interim title fight.
Oh, then I knew.
Were you surprised with that?
Yeah, I never even got asked even if I wanted it.
Yeah.
Who knows if I would take it? But just saying, I just, I was even asked. But whatever. I mean, it's a good management team. We'll figure it out. Not worried about that right now. Just like I said, we're worried about my family. That's all I care about.
Yeah, I got you. Like as far as fighting for the belt again, because I know when I lost the belt, it was like that's all I cared about. It was like I need to get my belt back. I need to get my belt back. I know whatever, and so it was almost too much. I was putting too much pressure on myself. I need to get out there. And then when they weren't giving me the fight, like it was terrible. They gave Bisping the fight against Dan Henderson instead of fighting me for the belt. Meanwhile, Dan Henderson was ranked 14th in the world. Like they were like, we do have a similar story with some of the like things that have happened in our career and the way the UFC has, dealt with us. And, I'm super, grateful to the UFC for, giving me the life I have.
Oh, of course. No question. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. So as far as the mindset wise going into this next chapter of getting your belt back, like where do you think the best way for you to be at mind wise? Obviously you're taking care of your family first, but then if they don't give you the title fight, you have to kind of, I feel like sometimes you got to like expect the worst. Like, all right, UFC is going to do whatever it takes to not give me this next opportunity. I'm going to beat the shit out of whoever they give me, no matter what, and just dominate everybody until they have to give it to me, or they need to give it to me now. And then you're pissed off because they don't do it. It's like, it's two ways to think about it. You're
right. 100%. I don't know. once I get to that road, we'll look at it, but I'm not going to worry about it because that's just stress I don't need in my life right now.
Yeah.
Especially with the baby coming up. We'll get there eventually, but I'm not going to worry about that until, it happens.
Yeah, I hear you. All right, let's go into some funny stuff I got for you. So wait, hang on. All right. So you're obviously a firefighter. You're a blue collar guy. You dressed like a blue collar guy for the majority of your career until at some point. I think when you were a champion, everything all of a sudden changed. All of a sudden, you had style. You had these fancy suits. You were very preppy, very tight pants, and the hair. All of a sudden was like really nice. What? Who do you credit this to? And like, how did this? Where did this rich boy come from?
Oh, that's a lie.
Where did this pretty rich boy come from?
No,
all the nice clothes.
First off, John Valente is probably trying to take credit for that, it's not him. It was my wife.
It was your wife? No, well, Jim Walter. I feel like you were dressing like Jim Walter for a while too. So was I.
Don't ever bring his name up again, please.
Hey, he was a manager. He was a good guy.
Okay.
I'm dying. All right, let's talk about your drawer in your house. Do you have a thong drawer? A man thong drawer? You have a man thong drawer?
I don't have that. I should actually. I have quite a few actually, but no, I do not. I have a American flag one, which not many people are happy about. I have a Borat one, the Borat swimsuit thong one. It goes on the shoulders, I have a rooster peacock one, whatever, rooster or peacock, one of the two, but it's it's a rooster one, cock.
Oh, I'm saying, but why do we have thongs? What?
It's fun. I like fucking with people.
Do you wear them with jeans on?
No, I don't like wear them out. Like I do them for like funny occasions. Like, I mean, like
so you'll go full thong and just like at the pool or something.
Yeah, I got that. Yeah, I did actually the day after our wedding. We had like awesome. Our friends over, and then I have two. I have a denim. They look like they're denim Speedos, but they're just the regular Speedos, but they look like they're denim. And then I have ones that are butler, like a little bow tie looks on them. It's pretty good, tuxedo looking one. It's pretty nice.
Oh, that's cute. That's very very cute. Let's talk about Long Beach. How you almost got beat up in Long Beach at the bar. Do you remember this?
Dude,
you touched the guitar player.
Dude, it was the worst.
Yeah.
So I don't ever try to fight. I don't like.
You're not gonna get angry. Yeah.
Yeah, but if it's meant like someone like you, like I really care about my wife. You know what I mean? Just like I'm gonna get really pissed off.
Yeah. Me and Ryan are on the same boat now.
100%, bro.
I'm not wearing that thong for you though. I'm not doing it.
It's called down to it's called family, bro. It's called family.
I love it. Love you.
No, I love you too, babe. So we were at this bar. I forget which one. I don't know, Minnesota's or something. I have no idea.
It was Minnesota. It was Minnesota.
The stage or something. But the stage to like the door to get your coat was like a foot big. So every time you walk by, you keep tripping over it, especially drinking, And so I went to go, and a guy I tripped over. He's like, kick this guy out, and the bouncers were like, yeah, okay, good luck with that. We're not touching those dudes. And then another guy was
pretending like he didn't see it, right?
Right. Well, then the guy starts getting my face. So I flicked him off. I might have threw a napkin at him or something like that, just to piss him off more. And then our one buddy did too. And he's just a regular guy. You don't train or anything like that. And the guy got his face. I jumped up, dude. I was like, I went after him, and they all held me back. I was like, that's you. I was ready to murder him, dude. That's
awesome. Yeah. I don't think the bouncers wanted any drama with
nope. They're like, yep, you guys are good. Just can you please leave?
Yeah, Valente said that the bouncers looked at the kid, was like, no, they're good. They could stay. We're not kicking them out, and they are not doing anything wrong.
Yeah,
everything they're doing is completely okay.
I know. That was fine. We had it was me.
Aljamain and Al. I think.
Yep.
That's a dangerous squad there.
Dude, and it was so much fun. We had so much fun. I remember getting buying drinks for everyone. Valente was like, "Why are you buying drinks?" This is like an hour and a half in. Why are you buying drinks? I'm like, because I'm got to buy drinks. She's like, bro, I get it for free here. After a whole hour and a half of me just buying drinks and stuff. So I didn't spend a lot, but still, I was like, Jesus, guy. Thanks.
Yeah. Typical
scumbag.
Typical
scumbag.
What else we got going on? What else can we talk about? Let me see here. Let me go to my notes. Troy, you got any questions? Anything I didn't bring up? Voice of Troy.
No questions from me.
What about Valente? What other stories did Valente give you?
He gave me he just gave me the thongs. No, that was it. The thongs. And he gave me the Long Beach story.
See, he thinks about it all the time because he wants to wear them, but he's nasty. Bro, here's a story about him.
I could see him doing the same thing.
Bro, so the last time he came over was right before the Francis fight, the week or 2 weeks before the fight. So this dude legit comes to my house. First off, he doesn't break, thank God, but he like destroys my child gate from the basement like 3 times. They knocks it off the staircase. I'm like, what are you like, dude? He's like, what? I'm like, lift your luggage over. Just don't pull it through, you know? Yeah. And then he sees my daughter on the bed. He jumps flops. Okay, first off, I don't care who you are. If you jump, you're that big and that fat and that heavy, like, and you jump on a bed, it's gonna break. He crushes our bed, crushed it. So we break that. Throw that out. I have to get new like stands underneath it. He did what else did he do? He did something else, dude. Like I'm like, dude, you're a disaster. I remember one time at our last house, dude, that dude takes the worst poops I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, he's disgusting.
My wife made me go to the store and buy one of those wands to clean with.
Yeah.
To clean it up, bro. There was like poop on the wall. I have no idea how I got there. It was disgusting. And he's like, I was just pooping, dude. Why? There's nothing on the wall. There's nothing on the wall. Seriously.
Bro, there's nothing like sharing a room with him in the hotel, and we got the same bathroom. He shaves his like chest and his pubic hair all over the bathroom, just leaves it there. Doesn't even like it's filled. The whole sink is filled. He'll pee all over the floor and not clean it up. And I'm like, bro, it's like my fight week. And I'm like, yo, Valente, it's my fight week. I want the bathroom to be clean. I don't want like pubic hair everywhere. He's like, bro, shut up. You're such a loser.
Yeah. He goes,
yeah. 100%. We gotta do a podcast with him on it and just make fun the whole time. So everybody could see, like most people, like not enough people know who Valente is. We gotta put him on here so they could see him and we can make fun of him at the same time.
Bro, so that week he was here for the Francis fight, he was training me, and so I make fun of him because he always got a lisp and he spits all the time when he talks. Bro, so he's like, the first night we're there, we're training at my house where he's talking to me. He's like, dude, you're doing so good, man. Like, seriously, there's great combination. As he's talking, this huge loogie flies out of his mouth right into the ground, right in front of me. I just looked at him like, I lost totally concentration. He was telling me. I just was looking at him like, do you not see what just happened here? Like, do you not see this? Yeah.
Oh, my God. Funny. He's got some serious issues, bro. He's got really serious issues. I got another question for you. So Jake Paul, being from Cleveland, we got a big fight coming up. What was it like to be around him? You were at the presser with him. What do you think? What do you think of Jake Paul?
Great dude. Honestly, he's a great kid. Came over very nice, very, very, very just regular dude. He's like one of us, just nice. I mean, like, I think a lot of it too, I think just the media, but also he knows how to play the game very well.
Do you feel like you could do that? Like, obviously you're just cool, just like he is. Like, do you feel like you could turn it on? Or do you ever regret not like saying, all right, this is completely fake. I'm just going to put on this persona because it's going to make me more money. Yeah. And I'm going to talk shit. I don't really mean it.
I could, but I still like, I have more important things to worry about, dude. Like, I don't need to go on Twitter or whatever and say some shit about someone. I'll do it once in a while, like not to someone, but just in general. But like, I don't know, man. I don't really care. But like, if you come after my wife, my daughter, my family, some way, I'm going to come after you. Like, I'll that way. But I'm not going to go out of my way to like hurt someone's feelings. I don't really care. Maybe I should have, but I'm good.
I mean, I'm in the same situation. It's like I didn't really talk shit like that. I didn't, none of us did the Conor McGregor. I don't think we're capable of doing that. But somewhere kind of in the middle of drawing more attention to the fights and saying things that maybe like I feel like we come from that humble background, the wrestling background. You don't really, you're not supposed to talk trash. You let your actions do the talking.
Yep.
And but apparently, as the time went on, like that's not what people want to see. They just want to see people talking shit and acting.
People love soap operas, dude.
That's crazy. I've always struggled with it. Every once in a while, I'll do something. Actually, do you remember me and you? And I forgot, I think some like Pervino and some people from the UFC were with us on Long Island after I beat Gastelum.
We're going to cut that one. We're not going to talk about that one.
Why not?
Because I want to talk about it.
Bisbing already knows, bro.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
No, he does.
He does.
Oh.
I was on his podcast. He talked about it. He knows you came up with that joke.
Yeah. Do you like it?
He thought it was hysterical. But the way he came back. So basically what happened is we were out. I was trying to fight Bisbing.
We were drinking.
Yeah, we were drinking. We were feeling good.
I love
Gaslam.
Bisping. I think he's a great guy.
Yeah, me too. Actually, I love Bisping. I didn't love him at the time. I
get it because you guys are fighting and shit.
I appreciated him though because of what he's accomplished. You know,
no question.
He's never a title contender really, and then out of nowhere he became the champion.
Right?
It was an awesome story.
Grinder, dude.
He's a grinder. So basically, I wanted the Gaslam. I just beat Gaslam, and I was talking trash to Bisping to try to get him to fight me, and Stipe was with me and some UFC employees. So they were helping me come up with some different tweets. And the one that did it was where I ended up saying something like, something like you have, no eye or you fake eye. Do you remember what we said?
No. So he said something about your dad.
Yes. Good memory.
He said something about your dad. And I think it was, are you looking at me or are you looking at him? Like I couldn't tell.
Yes. Like yes. And then the way he rebutted it was perfect because he did it like he made me feel bad. He was like, "Bro, way to make fun of like."
Oh, I know, right? I was like, you wrote that.
I'm like, Stipe, that's terrible. I feel awful. Yeah. Oh my god! But it's funny because we went through the whole Twitter exchange on his podcast and we were just laughing about it because he knew that was going to bother me. He wasn't bothered at all, but he knew he would just say that.
Well, I know he wasn't going to bother him at all because he wouldn't come at your dad like say something about your dad like that. I mean, like, but he didn't seem disrespectful, but he was just saying something. I mean, I get where he was coming with it.
Well, he mentioned my dad, so then I'm like, all right, he mentioned my dad, so you
goes off.
My dad now. I was like, that's it, it's over. I'm talking about your no eye.
Yeah,
bro. But how about Conor McGregor with the shit talk that he's been doing? Did you see what he did like with Khabib's dad and coronavirus? Did you see that tweet?
No,
he put out something like I think Khabib put something like a tweet out saying that good defeats evil and so then Conor wrote something like, so was Corona good and your dad evil or something like that because his dad died of Corona. Like, bro, how bad is that?
Yeah.
And then the Dustin Poirier stuff, bro. His leg breaks in half and he's talking shit about his wife right there.
Yeah.
I don't know how Poirier, I got to give credit to Poirier because he knew Conor was trying to get in his head with everything.
Yeah.
And obviously he didn't want it to get in his head. But I feel like just as a guy, and I think, just growing up the way we all kind of grew up, like someone talks about your wife, like you're fighting that, like you're slapping them like you.
Well, you also look at it, Dustin's like, I just broke your leg, dude. It's cool. Good luck with that.
But even before the fight, he was doing that. He was saying that he slid in the DMs.
Wife, didn't Dustin's wife like hit him up for the charity or something? That was all it was. There was nothing more than that.
Yeah, but he made it seem like it was calling her a hoe or something.
Yeah.
I would have a problem with that.
That'd be huge. I'd be pissed. Yeah.
I would be pissed if you start bringing up my wife, like bringing her to the discussion at all. I'm like, I don't know if I'd be able to calm down. Like,
but just wait till we get divorced and you do whatever you want. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. But it's crazy what this dude's doing.
Yeah.
All right, bro. Anything you want to shout out, man? You want to shout out your podcast because
Jabs that you were on. You're on Just Awkward Buddies Jabs. You can find it on all platforms. You can find us on YouTube as well. You follow me on Instagram, Stipe Miocic, on Twitter as well, on Facebook, all the good stuff. And no, man, I appreciate having me on. Thanks for making me feel awkward with the Bisping thing. I didn't know he was okay with it. So
I don't. No, he had no idea. I just made that up. I didn't even.
Are you being serious?
No, I'm kidding. I did. I'm not lying.
Wait, you talked to him?
Yeah, I talked to him. Yeah.
Oh, thank God, Jesus.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I was on his podcast. I love
bro. There was like an article about it. And you were tagged in it. I was like, I bet Stipe's gonna get pissed when he sees this because I told him. I straight up told him. I said, bro, it wasn't just me who did that. He was like, who was it? I was like, it was me, Stipe, a couple of UFC people.
Oh, he can't be mad at me. He couldn't be mad at me. He loves me.
Oh, he loved it. Yeah, no, he thought it was hysterical. He goes, what, Stipe? My guy, Stipe. It was great. It was great.
But I would listen. First off, I was definitely drunk at that point.
Yeah, bro, it was great. It was good. Yeah. It was a good call. Well, it didn't get me the fight, so it didn't work. It was all pointless. But I appreciate trying to help me out.
I was helping out, babe.
Thanks for watching today's episode. If you enjoyed it, please let us know in the comments below. Won't Back Down is also available as a podcast, so feel free to give us a follow wherever you get your podcasts.